How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we're going to crack on with the next chapter of The First Soldier. We're up to chapter 5 now, and this is the last chapter that we've got, so we're waiting after this. We're going to have to chill, we're going to have to take it easy, and just wait a little bit until the next chapter. So, I don't know what I'm going to do over the next few days. I might do a few more Star Ocean videos while we wait for a bit more Rebirth news, because we got the Game Awards on the 7th, and let's be honest, there's a lot of possibilities for things that we could hear about at the Game Awards. But until then, yeah, I think it's chill time, so I might throw a few more Star Ocean videos out. But that is not today's task. Today's task is to talk about Chapter 5 of The First Soldier, and we're going to jump straight into it, so don't forget, like the video, subscribe for future content, it all helps the channel grow. We're so close to 2,000 subs now, so just give us that little push over the edge. I think we need 20 subs, so do it. But let's crack on. So in the previous chapter of The First Soldier, we finally met Baby Sephiroth. And Baby Sephiroth lived up to all of our expectations. He turned up, he killed everything. Just killed everything. And then we got to see kind of a awkward social dynamic between him and the group, due to the fact that he's a child, he's a project of Professor Hojo's, he's obviously far more powerful than anybody, and he doesn't really understand how to do social situations. So you kind of take all of that and bundle it up together, and you've got some awkward times ahead. But we got through some stuff, we got back to the cave, and we found out that the mission is to clear out the island, basically. That's the mission. Clear out the island, make it ready so that Shinra can just come in and do the thing. And we pick up Chapter 5 with Glenn waking up and kind of wishing that everything was a dream, but no, you have been relegated to Coffee Boy, so deal with it. Now Matt, Glenn and Lucia chat about things for a few seconds, and then they hear a loud whistle, and that's Sephiroth kind of summoning the group to them, which Glenn isn't very happy about. Glenn is not very happy about being whistled like a dog. So, yeah, he's got his issues, and the team eventually catch up with Sephiroth, who's been kind of casing the ruins, sizing things up, seeing what the best point of entry would be, that sort of thing. Now, Sephiroth tells us that he believes that the Redorans have established a base inside the tunnels underneath the ruins, so he suggests that we circle around to the back entrance and catch the enemy by surprise, because they're going to be expecting Sephiroth and the gang to come through the ruins and enter the tunnels that way. So we're going to circle around the back and we're going to sneak attack them. This sounds like a good plan. I like this plan. Glenn lets Sephiroth know that he doesn't like being whistled like he's a dog, and that if Sephiroth whistles to round them up again, Glenn will kick his ass, which isn't going to happen, but Sephiroth still seems to feel bad about it. You know, I mean, Sephiroth obviously knows that he could murder all three of them in a heartbeat, but he feels bad. And this is where we're going to get to see that Sephiroth doesn't really know how to interact with people at all, because he's not really interacted with people at all. So this is kind of a big thing for him, and it's going to be a learning experience. We kind of saw a little bit of it in the previous chapter, but in this chapter we see a lot more. Now the group head off to the caverns, and they go through an area. They eventually end up on a beach. It looks like that's got high Mako density. You can see the Mako kind of floating around in the air. And Sephiroth at this point takes the time to apologise, saying that he hasn't been around people that much, because this is his first assignment, so he doesn't really interact with people, and he didn't realise that it was rude. And Glenn's a bit like, wait, what? First assignment? You're a hero? Because everyone's heard about Sephiroth. Everyone's heard about these special soldiers, Professor Hojo's soldiers. Everybody's heard about him, we heard him described as such in the previous chapter. And Sephiroth kind of points out that Shinra are packaging him as a hero already, but this is actually his first mission. It's all just kind of a propaganda recruitment drive with Sephiroth as the face of it. So at this point, Sephiroth is kind of being used as the face of Join Soldier, probably the same campaign that our friend Cloud saw back when he was a kid in Nibelheim, but it's not true, because Sephiroth hasn't actually gone and done anything yet. This is his first mission. And he carries on and he talks about how he doesn't want to be a hero, and instead he just wants to live a normal life. But he knows that that's not possible. And that sucks, you know, it shows that Sephiroth obviously is someone who hasn't chosen to be used in this manner. You know, it was decided for him before he was even born. So he's not really had any say in this, and he's being packaged as a hero already by Shinra, so he's kind of being forced into this position now. He's got this expectation on him of what he is, and everybody's got that expectation of him for what he is. Everyone makes these assumptions about him, which is something we'll come back to later on in this chapter. But Glenn says one thing, and he says, well, okay then, this is your chance. Let's make you a real hero. Let's go and do this, and let's make you a real hero. Let's prove the propaganda true. And I'm worried about that because it makes me think, could this be the first thing that properly breaks Sephiroth? Like, this first mission that he goes on, does this kind of set the tone for Sephiroth going forwards? I kind of expect it's going to, and, you know, lots of foreshadowing for things. We're not going to get too carried away. But basically, Sephiroth doesn't want to live this life. He's been forced into this life, and it is what it is. He's accepting of it, but he doesn't want it. I think that's the best way to look at it. But the group continue to head towards this back entrance to the tunnel system, and they stumble across a natural Mako spring with materia forming naturally, which Glenn obviously goes to take. But before he can grab it, Matt stops him, and he talks about the belief that materia is made from the life stream, and therefore holds the memories and knowledge of people who have returned to the planet. And this unnerves Glenn a little bit, and he doesn't want his secrets ending up in the materia for someone else to find, because, you know, everybody's got secrets, of varying degrees of course, but everybody's got secrets, and this compels Glenn to kind of apologise to the life stream. I think that's what he does here. He apologises to the live stream for everything, saying that, you know, everyone's done things that they're not proud of, especially when they're children. So yeah, he's apologising to the live stream. And Sephiroth kind of like wanders up to him like, what was that? What are you doing? What? And Glenn says that things are complicated when you're an adult. I'm sure that'll come back round eventually. We keep on heading forwards towards these tunnels, and we eventually reach the entrance. And we stop for a moment, and Sephiroth kind of turns round and asks the party to look at a photo. And he asks them if they know the person in this photo, if they've ever seen the person in this photo. And he shows them a photo of his mother, Jenova. Yes, Jenova. Now, if you've not played Final Fantasy VII, or you don't know any of the story, we're going to talk some spoilery stuff. I feel like I have to talk some spoilery stuff here, but I'm pretty sure that all of you that are watching this video have probably played FF7 and know what I'm about to say anyway, but just in case, there's going to be spoilers for like the next 30 seconds or so, yeah, brace yourself. But the picture that Sephiroth shows to the group is obviously not Jenova, it's Lucretia, and, as we all know, because I'm sure anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled is muted by now, but Lucretia used to be an assistant to Grimoire Valentine being Vincent Valentine's father. She continues working for Shinra after Grimoire Valentine is killed in an accident with the proto-materia, I think it was, but she ends up getting assigned to the Jenova project, which means that she ends up working with Professor Gast and then eventually Professor Hojo, and she has a bodyguard assigned to her, weirdly, by Shinra, which is Vincent Valentine, a member of the Turks at the moment. Those two kind of start a weird relationship, but eventually Vincent finds out about his dad and what went on there, so Lucretia kind of gets guilty, runs off, gets some comfort off Hojo, bangs him a bit, as a baby. It's called Sephiroth, but while the baby was in the oven they injected it with some cells. Oh, and then Hojo shot Vincent. That's the short version of who this bitch is. So, yeah, Sephiroth asks the group about this person, and none of them have seen her. None of them have ever met her. None of them have got a clue who she is. Sephiroth tells us that he knows nothing about her. He just has this photo from Hojo. Awkward. Sephiroth also gets laughed at a little bit because he's going around and asking about his mother and how it isn't cool. Oh, the future for you, Sephiroth. Ah, poor guy. But then Glenn gets paranoid that Sephiroth thought that they were going to die, and that's why he's asked them now. Which Sephiroth denies, but then he's like, but come to think of it, actually, that's a good point. So, you know, a little bit of fun. But Sephiroth says that being with the team must be what having fun is, and that he's enjoying it. Very awkward moment. Obviously showing how awkward Sephiroth is in general, and how, like, the simplest of thing is new to him, because he's been raised in a laboratory by a weird guy called Hojo. Which can't be fun, let's be honest, it can't be fun. But we finally arrive. We finally make it to the entrance to the tunnels, and Sephiroth repeats the order, which is eliminate all monsters and Redorans. And the group's a bit shocked and like, what, even the kids and the elderly? And Sephiroth's like, bro, I'm a kid too. And the elderly might be veterans that have fought in more wars than you've had hot dinners. So, you know, calm down. And while he's a bit harsh, he's right. So we go in and we start clearing the caves and we're fighting our way through the Redoran troops. We work our way through, we open all the doors, we find all the chests, we kill all the people. Eventually we reach a gateway that kind of slams down on us and we get ambushed from behind, but then he appears again. So Stamp appears on the other side and just absolutely wrecks all of those Redorans on that side. We deal with the Redorans on this side, and then Stamp runs off. I wonder if we'll ever see him again. I hope we do. I want to kill him. But after we've cleared the caves, we reach a slightly more open area where Sephiroth just kind of stood in the centre of like 7 or 8 dead Redorans. And Glenn asks if this was necessary. And Matt says that they could have captured them and used them as a bargaining tool, you know, to try and get the reactor built. And Sephiroth reminds him that the mission is to kill the Redorans, not ask them for permission. Dark. Matt notices that Sephiroth's injured, and Sephiroth points out that the kids that the team were looking to spare were the ones that injured him. Kind of proving his point, and he is kind of right-ish. It's still pretty dark, though. He says the team shouldn't make assumptions about people, and that he has to strive every day to prove people's assumptions of him wrong. And we've already had him be viewed by Glenn as nothing but a cyborg, and he's trying to prove that wrong. You know, everyone thinks he's some hero, but really he's just a kid who's been tested on in a lab. I mean, he eventually reaches that point and he is strong as fuck, but, you know, he's not a hero at this point. So, yeah, it's all about not making assumptions about people, this chapter, it kind of feels like, and how there can be more than meets the eye to people. Like, it's definitely feeling like that's the message of this chapter. He talks about learning to be strong in body, mind and heart so that he can stay calm and finish every mission. Otherwise he'd be second rate. It's kill or be killed. At which point Glenn just kind of bursts forward and gives Sephiroth a hug, telling him that he's right, but that he's also got nothing to prove and that he could show some compassion sometime. And then Glenn apologises for calling him a cyborg. We then see a black screen and just white text which says, "I never wanted to be." Which I'm going to assume is Sephiroth thinking. That's what it feels like. I feel like that's Sephiroth speaking. The party then leave, and we reach that shot that we had previously through a canyon, and you can see the chimney in the distance on the other island with the smoke rising up, and Sephiroth notices the island. The team tell Sephiroth about Rosen. What the fuck? And then we cut to Rosen kind of fueling the chimney, and the team discussing how soon he's going to be the only Redoran left. Again, dark. So yeah, pretty dark chapter in general. Like, lots of Redoran murder. Not that we expected it to go any other way. You know, Shinra viewed this as their property. This land is their property. The Redorans were allowed to stay here just as long as they didn't fuck about, basically. And now they've started fucking about. So, see ya. That genuinely feels like what it is. Like, Shinra have just gone, no, we're going to use this island now, you need to get out. And Sephiroth there to get rid of him. And it looks like we've done quite a good job of it. Now, I don't know how Rosen's going to feel about being the only person left. I kind of feel like Rosen will go all like, well, I've got nothing to lose then, have I? Might as well kill you. Because if you think about it, the only purpose that he's got is watching for those mana torrents and warning the people on the main island. If everybody on the main island's dead, and he's got no family, we've already established all of that, then what's he got? From his perspective, of course. Obviously, he's got more than that. He's got his own life, he's got his own health, he's got his own well-being, all that business. But from his perspective, it might become a case of, oh, well, I just need to attack these guys now, and if I die, I die. I'm getting scared that Sephiroth's going to kill Rosen. I'm so scared that Sephiroth's going to end up killing Rosen at some point. He knows about him now. He knows about him. And what the fuck? Why would you tell the murder hobo about the innocent boy on the island? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Ah, insanity. Insanity. But yeah, some pretty cool things from this chapter. It's cool to find out that Sephiroth's already being pushed as that propaganda hero. You know, that propaganda piece to try and recruit young men into Soldier. That's what it's all about. Gotta get them young, healthy, fit men into Soldier, because if they're with us, they're not joining any fucking resistance groups. That's kind of one of the vibes, I think. And plus, Sephiroth's just going to be the perfect tool for that, especially now that we're going to start getting real stories of Sephiroth going in and just clearing places out. Because if this is his first mission, it's going pretty well so far. He's just kind of killed all of the things. So, yeah. Things are looking good. I'm looking forward to chapter 6 of this. I'm also a little bit scared about Chapter 6 of this because it looks like we've cleared the island now. It looks like that's done. So maybe we end up heading back to Rosen's Island. And I really hope that it doesn't go the way I think it's going to go. Someone reassure me in the comments, like, convince me that Sephiroth's not going to kill Rosen. Just someone, please help. I need to be convinced. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this one. Lots of stuff to think about in that one. Like I say, very much doubling down on Sephiroth being someone who didn't get to have a proper childhood, someone who doesn't get to have the normal experiences that people would have in life. Someone who's literally just been made to be a soldier, and that is the only experience that he has. So now he's seeing the outer world and seeing real people and interacting with real people. It's a bit awkward for him and it's not going the best. And I wonder if we're going to see him develop past that, or if we're going to see him just kind of lean on that Shinra upbringing that he's got and kind of find comfort in that and distance himself from people. I think we'll probably see him open up to a point, but then he will eventually fall back under the sway of Shinra, because we know where this story goes. It's just going to be interesting to see how it gets there. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm genuinely enjoying it so far. Let me know what you think about these videos, or if you've been playing the first Soldier, let me know what you're thinking about the chapters. How are you feeling about the story? Are you enjoying it? Is it good? Is it bad? Just share some thoughts with me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for future content, push us up to that 2K. But more importantly than all of that, have a great day.